Welcome to a new video for the channel. I hope you are doing well. Today I want to show you a little bit about my last trip to Canada. This country is really amazing, beautiful landscape, the people are very friendly and the weather was very nice. I made the trip for the summer and the truth was that I was quite lucky because the days were sunny and the temperatures were quite pleasant. I was a bit worried, because I had heard the news about the fires and I also knew that I was going to be in some of the parks or nature reserves where the fires were happening. But in the end everything went very well. I had seen videos about Canada and I had seen some where there were people who could see animals very close, but I always thought that people should pay extra like a tour or something like that to have that possibility. But the reality was that I could also see a lot of animals on the way. Well, let me tell you a little bit about the tour and I'll post some pictures or videos while I tell you about the trip. The trip started with my flight from Paris to Vancouver. When I arrived in Vancouver I was very happy to see the combination of the city, the mountains and the sea. The city of Vancouver has a very relaxed and people-friendly atmosphere. There are many options for restaurants, bars, and other entertainment, but one thing I really liked was the harbor and the waterfront. An area where you can enjoy good food, music, art, and much more is the Granville Island area. One of the effects of the situation we lived through for more than 2 years was that many businesses were closed or simply went bankrupt, as well as the drugs issue. The last drug that had taken over a city in the United States was also in the city of Vancouver, but I'd better focus on the positive aspects of this trip. The journey was to continue. My next destination would be Vancouver Island. A fairly large island near the city of the same name, which can only be reached by boat, ferry, or waterplane. Unfortunately, when I made the travel plan, I booked only one night on this island and I would have liked to stay longer there, but I had other places to visit where I already had a hotel reservation. During my trip to the island I was able to see some animals as shown in the video.
During the trip I came across several animals like this seal playing in the water and these deer strolling through one of the neighborhoods. Here are some pictures I took during my stay on Vancouver Island. My time on the island was short, I continued my journey towards Half Moon Bay. All these cabins or tents are part of the hotel. My next stop was Whistler and I started my journey through mountains and valleys. The road and the views were incredible. But what surprised me most, coming from Europe, is how few cars were on the roads. Well, Canada is the second largest country in the world and one of the least populated based on its size, but this is still surprising, although it was something I was very grateful for. Having a break from the noise, chaos and crowds was something my mind and spirit was grateful for. Here are some images from Whistler and the hotel. My next stop was Jasper. The drive between Whistler and Jasper was so beautiful, and when I was finally arriving in Jasper National Park, I could see more animals wandering around the village. Something very curious was this reindeer. At first I thought he had a problem with one of his antlers, but well, see for yourself what happened in the end. In this part of the park you can enjoy one of the most famous mountain ranges in Canada called the Rocky Mountains. It is a mountain system that stretches from Canada to the United States. In this area there were several tourists taking some pictures of the sunset and the spectacle of colors that was leaving the sunset. The calm waters of the lake made it possible to see very well the reflection of the mountains at the back. I know I have said it several times, but how nice it is to be surrounded by nature. This was my first time seeing a bear live and free, and it was one of the most incredible things. I was driving down the road and suddenly this beautiful bear came out of nowhere and he let me film him. Lake Louise is a place you have to visit if you come to Canada. The view of this lake and the mountains in the background was one of the most beautiful things I could see during this trip. I am not a big believer in God, or at least not in a fanatical way, but seeing this place was something that made me believe in the existence of God or something higher. These imposing mountains, the turquoise color of the water, is priceless. I sat there for almost 2 hours watching this place. My tour continues to the next and last stop of this first part of this video. The town of Banff. In this town there is a beautiful garden and of course many shops where you can buy souvenirs, also many restaurants and of course many tourists. I ended my day enjoying a festival of music, food, and good vibes in the city's main park.